I won't just come and say end child marriage. As somebody that grew up around an area where there was a lot of child marriage amongst people that I used to play with, so I'm going to tell one of the stories instead. So when I was 8 years old, there was this girl that I started playing with, and she was around my age, and one day I went there to play with her. She didn't come out to play, and that happened a couple of times. So I went inside the house inside their compound. Their gate is like very big and the fence is high. People don't like going there. So I didn't want to go inside without her because I've been inside before. But that day I just summoned up courage and I knocked and they opened the gate and I went inside. And I saw her sitting down like alone in the compound is very big, but she was just sitting down alone in one small stool. And the mom was sitting somewhere else under a tree with a mat on the floor and she was knitting. Then the stepmom, because there were two wives in the house, the stepmom was picking beans. So when I got inside, the mom was knitting and that caught my attention immediately. So I went there and I started knitting with the mom and she was teaching me her techniques. The girl still hasn't said anything. She was just sitting there, quiet. Eventually, the mom asked me, when are you getting married? Mind you, I was 8 as at the time of this event. And I didn't know the response to give her. I was just looking at her. And she said, you see... Hulera, that was her name. Her name is Hulera. She said, you see Hulera now, she's about to get married and you are older than her. Then the other wife responded and said, what in then say sing me degree, and both of them started laughing. When I got bored with the meeting, I started playing around the compound, just picking up stuff. You know how kids behave now. So I called her, I did this, and she looked at me. And immediately she looked at her mom. You know that movement, like when your mom asks you not to do something and, you know, you try to look at them for approval. So she did that. And immediately she looked at her mom. I looked at the mom as well. And the mom was looking at her like this. So I turned back to look at her and she just bent her head. So after that movement, I got up and I left and I never saw her again. So there was this other woman that I used to go to carry her baby. Because she had a newborn baby, and as a kid I used to love newborn babies. I became friends with the woman basically. So one day I saw her running. She was carrying the baby and she was running. So immediately I followed her and I was asking her what's wrong with the baby. I've forgotten the boy's name. So she said somebody died. She couldn't answer me. She just said somebody died. So I started following her immediately. And when we got there, the stepmom was the one that opened the gates. And we were already entering. Immediately the mom of the girl sighted me from where she was sitting, still that same under tree that she was sitting that day on the mat. That was where she was, and she was crying. Immediately she sighted me, she started wailing. The stepmom kicked me out and like just slammed the door in my face. It was a small door of the gate. Eventually I started just asking around. Their opposite neighbor, one of the kids, they were the ones that told me that the girl died. They don't know what killed her, but she already got married. This was like months later after that day that I left there. Few months later, again, when I was in primary 5, my classmate that was not more than 12 years old got married to a man that was so old that his body was already bending. Like when we saw him, like he was hunching over. That man should be probably in his 80s. And she was about 12 because we were in primary 5. It's unfortunate that when it comes to the female species, the whole human race has evolved to have less mercy and not see women as children at any age. But the problem is the behavior of the group of men that like marrying children is never discussed. And that's where the problem comes in. We're too sentimental as a species. We're not talking about the behavior, the mental state of these people that are interested in marrying children. It's a kink. If you go to states where child marriage is a thing, there are a lot of divorces that happen. Most of the time, the men end up abandoning the children. Like the case of Hajia Gambo Sawaba. When she was 13, she was married off. When she got pregnant, the man left because at the end of the day, a child is a child and their behavior is going to show based on their age. There are a lot of cases like this. If the child turns up with any disease, the man abandons them. If they get tired of them, because they are kids, they don't know how to clean themselves properly, so a lot of time they start to smell. The men abandon them. At the end of the day, it's just a kink. And there's one that I want to speak about. A guy came to my life and told the story, and he said he had to leave, like stop practicing religion because of this. Because the adults around the area know that, not the area, the adults, they know that this is happening and nobody is doing anything about it. The guy is in Jos. He said that the men that marry these children, they have a concoction that they take on the wedding night that makes their stuff big, because the goal is, if you sleep with a child and the child doesn't get admitted to the hospital, then you are weak. That's like the thing there, like, you as a fully grown man, you do something with a child and the child doesn't go to the hospital, you are a weak man. So because of that, they take this concoction, and the goal is to ensure that the child ends up in the hospital. And according to this guy, he said if you go to the hospital, you see small children, girls, with, he called the disease. Please, if you're watching this video, I would like you to put the name of the disease you mentioned in the comment section. Thank you. That the children normally turn up with. Some of them end up losing their ability to hold pee, which I also witnessed with one of the girls that I was playing with. That one, she survived, but she was peeing on herself. Like, every time you see her, there's pee running down her clothes. So the adults, they know that this is happening, and nobody is saying anything, because the people that it's happening to are usually people at a disadvantage. This is why I'm always against having children that you cannot take care of, because that's where it happens. When you have kids that you cannot take care of, you have to find a way to not love them enough and hang them out to dry, put them in situations that will end their life, and you won't even care. You can just come and cry and you'll move on, because you are poor and there's nothing you can do. Then for the people, I've seen a couple of comments saying in Nigeria, the age of consent is 18. The Nigerian constitution and the constitution in many countries says the age of consent is 18. But if your religion permits it, the parents have the right to marry a child off at any age, as long as the parents are the ones championing it. It's fine, even if she's 7, 8, 9, it doesn't matter, as long as it's the parents doing the same thing in Somalia. I don't want this video to be too long, so I think the state of mind of the grown-up men who are interested in children should be put into consideration here, so that they'll be shamed accordingly. Bye.